we're going to start off with just looking broadly at the concept of open and close a little bit more. So I mean, because I keep talking about this open and close thing, and I haven't really, I've kind of explained it in bits of the form, and it's, relative to the elbows, center line, but it's rather a superficial way of looking at it. And really what happens is it's all about here. That's what it's really all about. And so this is when you start making both Qigong and Tai Chi work from here. And you need to have this concept of drawing from here. So let's just have a quick look at the basics of open and close. We've done bits of this in the past, but we're going to just try and put it together a little bit. So open, you would be, say, standing up and your arms are here. Go to your Vitruvian man position, Yeah, so Vitruvian man's probably more like this, but so you're here. So everything's open. Chest is open, everything's open. This is no way this can close down. But now you're going to pull your tummy in. Lift up the pubic bone at the front, so your pelvis slightly tucks under, and now just pull your tummy in more, pull your tummy in more. So this is your leader. This is pulling everything in. It's like here's a wire going to your hands, to your feet, and it's closing everything up in your body. And then you just go open again. Push the backs of the hands out, for example. And here, pull in your tummy, and then everything moves. So we're working from the center when we do this. Open and pull in. Okay, so that's the first thing. Every time you do a close, I'm not always going to say do a pelvic tilt, pull in here, because that's what should automatically happen. So let's say you're in this position. Just forget your feet for a second. We're even going to forget this for a minute, okay? We're now going to look at the way the upper body works, and incidentally, this is open and close on the whole body, what we've just done. Everything is closing, and it's not necessarily true that open and close happens with the feet as well as the hands. Sometimes the legs can be doing open, whereas the body's doing closed. So, or the upper arm, sorry, the upper body is doing closed. So it's not always true that the whole thing works as simply as that. So these are broad kind of ideas, okay? So forget your legs for a second, we're here. Okay. Would you leave your hands exactly where they are in space and just turn your hands up to the ceiling? What happened to your elbows? Okay, so your elbows went inwards, didn't they? They just did a twist in. This is a close. But of course, that's just a very mechanical, I'm working off the shoulder joint, nothing really been involved here at all. So do the same thing again. Elbows, if you like, are out at the moment. And then instead now engage this, don't have to bend your knees, engage this so it feels like this is pulling the elbows in. Yeah? And again, engage and pull the elbows in. Now, we've got various levels we can work on this. You can either work from here or you could work from here. So this is your lower dantian, this is your middle dantian. So here, you could actually just use this one here. Just feel like your chest is pulling the elbows in. Hands are staying in the same place. Yeah, but you can also involve this as well. So we do both. Yeah, it's very hard to only do this one. Because this one, if this one's leading, it's going to infect this one next and then the elbows. Try only using that one and just notice if anything happens here. It's very difficult, isn't it? So you'll find that this is more like open and close. Now let's go to a move like repulse monkey, which is in the 10 move form. This is the second movement in the form. So you're here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do this first. So elbows come in. Right, now come out of it again. Now what you're going to do is you're going to have the same feeling with the elbows coming in like this, but one hand is actually going to fold, and that's all it's going to do. But the elbows are what you're focusing on. You're not focusing on whether one hand comes in and the other doesn't. Okay, that's just, don't be obsessed by anything happening with the forearm and the hand. Feel elbows and center line. So you're there. So one, what are your elbows doing? Have they got that squeezy feeling? It's like they've both done this, but one hand has folded in more. Good, try the other side. So fold in with elbows. Yeah. So we've started to get a feeling of compression from the elbows, irrespective of what this has done, which has gone obviously nearer my head than this one. So that is a feeling of close, which should incidentally initiate from here. So now we do repulse monkey. So sit down. We're not stepping back. We're just using the arms. So you're going to do fold and you're going to do a pelvic tilt. Yeah, and undo. So I want you to do your pelvic tilt. I want you to lift up the pubic bone a bit more, and I want you to let your bum feel like it's tucking under very slightly. Don't overdo it. So standing up at the moment, and now go, close. Now, your elbows should be equidistant from your body. From this elbow and that elbow, the center line should be the same distance if measured to the elbows. We don't have to be too precise, but it does, a little bit of precision does help here, especially at first. And then you get the feel of it. And once you've got the feel of it, that's it. You'll always do it. You don't have to worry about it. Because if you don't do it, it'll feel wrong. So when we do repulse monkey, for example, or step back and push, step back and push, to give it its more general name. So here, whichever arm, I'm going to fold this one. So here I'm doing a pelvic tilt and it feels like my elbows are being drawn in from here, as if this is the control, like a puppet, you know, this pulls and it pulls on the string inwards here. And what I do with this doesn't matter. So we're now on to brush knee and sidestep. Now, brush knee and sidestep is a more complex movement in the sense that we're stepping. So when we do the Tai Chi form, we are stepping to left or right. Okay, so the first one's going to be to your left, and we do brush knee. So you've just gone here, you're going to fold, and it's going to be your right arm's folded, yeah? And your foot's going to come in, and you're going to push, fold, and then you're going to push with your right hand towards ahead. Okay, so now we just need to look at how open and close works, because if you understand this, you can actually work out where your arms should be, how they should be positioned. And this is not a fixed rule, okay, because it depends on what you want to do with the movement. So there is a lot of there are a lot of possibilities, but I'm just going to give you one because it makes life easier. So so just watch me a second. I'm not sure which way to face here. Right. So I think I've got to face you. So let's say I'm here and I go here. So you can see the elbows are rolled in, yeah. Elbows are rolled in. And then I'm going to go push, and I'm finishing off repulse monkey, and there is the end of my repulse monkey. Now then, in the 24 move form, in any form which does actual footwork stepping backwards on this, in a funny way, it's a little bit easier. So in the 10 move form, technically speaking, we shouldn't finish in this position like this, because you can see where this elbow is, it's back here. Let me do it with the other hand here, that you can't even see my left elbow behind me here. But in this form, in the other form, you'd have stepped back and you would have sat back here. You'd have gone backwards with a foot. And incidentally, it could actually be either foot. In the 24, it's here, and so there's my close up movement, and I would step back and I would push. Now, my body is now side on. So I'm facing that way over there. I'm not facing you anymore. So if I come back to you, you can see that my elbows are equidistant from my center line. There's the middle, there's elbow, there's elbow. It's the same from there to there. The 10 move form, we do not step back. Therefore, technically speaking, repulse monkey finishes here with my elbows level and my hands not pushed one in front and the other one pulled back. So technically we finish in the center, right? Let's do the beginning of the form. Okay, so you've already stepped out, you raise hands, you sit down, there's an open, there's a close, you can see it, yeah. And now you're going to turn to your right and you open. Is that right? Fold. Yeah. And settle. That is the end of repulse monkey. Look, my elbows are level. Yep, you can't see that one very well. The next bit is turning to the other side. Okay, so let's do that again. So finish in the middle because we've done no step back. So the hips are now facing you and yours are facing mine. You're here, hips square, but not a push. The push is part of the next move. So you lift up, you sit down, you turn to your right, you fold, your body's now facing the corner, isn't it? And now just square your hips and let your elbows follow your hips. Okay, we're finished. So look where I am. I'm here, virtually one hand above the other. Yeah, okay, stay there. Now you're going to turn to the other side. The elbows are going to follow the hips again. Out you go. Open, squeeze, closing, and this is the moment of close in the middle. Don't do the push. Stop in the middle. Okay, let's just do that once more and then we'll move on to what happens next, because the general rule is like breathing. If you breathe in, you next have to breathe out. Okay, you don't have any choice here. Yeah, you've got to breathe in, you've got to breathe out, you've got to breathe in again. Otherwise, you know, the end, right? So you lift up, you sink. Okay, there's an open, there's a closed. Okay, so you're going to turn to your right, you open, close, squeeze, and now finish with your hips square, and therefore your elbows are going to be kind of square still, yeah? Now, here comes the rest of the movement. Fold the arm, and now push. Okay, stop in the middle.